Boom, boom. Guess who's with us, folks? Rudy's back. Hey, Rudy, you were in a meeting. This is live and real and authentic. How are you today, my friend?
I am great, man. I am great. I'm sorry for coming up late at this time, but we had this big meeting going on about, patients and treatment options, and the most important thing that I'm looking at the way how I really felt being in that meeting. I was just looking at the impact.
Mhm.
I was looking at the impact that we create in the lives of people,
Right.
because we were literally talking about patients and the
Mhm.
different disease groups, and the changes that they experience over time being treated by our team. It's just incredible.
It really is. In fact, when I was on live earlier, one of the things I mentioned right at the top of the call and at the end of the call is what today is. And
Right,
they're in New York, what today is.
right, right.
And there's some alignment between the two, um, in that after 9/11, there was this coming together, this unity, this belief that we're all as one.
Right.
And that's the culture that Mr. Bugs has put together with iboomerang. We are one big family. Doesn't matter where you live, what part of the world you live in. Your background is in medicine. I'm a trainer and writer. Doesn't matter. We're all together in this, all together as one.
Right, definitely, absolutely,
Yeah, just really
absolutely.
cool. So,
Because I mean, when I think about 9/11, I'm thinking about the lives of those who died, those who we honoring the lives of those who gave up themselves, the first responders who
right.
came out there to help. And I'm fortunately enough, some of them happen to be patients who were treated in our facility,
Right.
and we get to appreciate them very much for their commitment and their service,
Right.
because it only takes somebody who is very selfless,
Hmm.
to go against. It's like there's a storm coming, right?
Hmm.
And everybody, it's going. A normal human being will go away from the storm,
Right.
but it takes somebody who is very selfless to go towards the storm, because they know that going towards the storm is actually saving the lives of other people.
Exactly.
You
Exactly
know.
right. Exactly right.
So, and I mean, being in the space, being in this space of entrepreneurship as well, we're also thinking about the impact that we are creating in the lives of other people, because it's not just about us.
No,
It's not
exactly.
it's not about us entirely, because when I think about the kids that we feed, being like boomerang,
Hmm.
giving somebody a boomerang whom they activate. I mean,
Right.
I was just I sent a boomerang to somebody in one of my friends on LinkedIn, and
Hmm.
he had a birthday celebration. No, I think he had a new job,
Hmm.
so I congratulated him. I said, help me in our community project to feed, because we're feeding kids in our humanitarian work around the world, by
Right.
activating this boomerang. Because if you do this, kids are being fed. And the guy was like, wow, thank you so much for this opportunity. It's
Okay.
an opportunity for people to be able to impact the lives of other people.
Right.
So I really, really, you know deep today, especially today, it's all about gratitude.
It is. You're
It's all
right.
about
All about
gratitude today.
gratitude.
Yeah.
And what we're doing through Children's International. You're right. That's such a profound statement of who we are. But the bigger vision to that is our goal is not just to feed undernourished children.
Right.
Our goal is to eradicate hunger.
Exactly. And to empower them.
And there's no doubt in my mind that's going to happen. That is
Absolutely.
going to happen.
Absolutely. Because I mean, you can, in as much as we want to feed them, in as much as we have the capabilities to feed them,
Right.
we also want to be able to teach them
Right.
how to feed themselves, and also change the next generation, right?
Right.
So the next generation of kids wouldn't have to depend on food,
Right.
wouldn't have to seek food as a basic commodity. I mean, this is something which we all sometimes we have them in abundance, and we ignore the fact that we do have them. And I mean, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't have food, but other people over there in different countries, and like what we are doing in this organization, they don't have this privilege. And we being in this position that we are, is to empower them, empower our fellow colleagues, our friends and family members around the world, empower them to take upon themselves as a responsibility to change the dynamic of their own environment.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Rudy, you posted something really I thought was just eye-opening this morning when you posted the statement about what the future is with Uber and Lyft. And so someone might say, okay, if they're scaling back, why would iboomerang even attempt to get into something in the rideshare business like Vibrite? Tell me your thoughts about that post and what your thoughts are also with Vibrite.
Man, sometimes when you wake up in the morning and you look into the sun or you look into the sky and you think about you just being thankful of all the blessings that we have.
Right.
When I woke up this morning, so I stepped out of my bed, I went out for a little run.
Mm-hmm.
Then I came back, so I touched my phone. I usually go on LinkedIn, and I saw this notification on the LinkedIn news, and this is Uber cutting down on their employees. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they've cut down a third of their staffs. So I'm asking myself why. So I want to read down, to read the whole text, and they said they're actually, I think Uber and Lyft right now are they're gonna go to Congress.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to Congress because for some reason Congress wants Uber and Lyft to consider their drivers as employees.
Right.
And I mean, seeing that if Uber and Lyft consider their drivers as employees,
Mm-hmm.
of course they're going to cut down on their existing employee workload because they want to make sure that they can actually keep their budget. And
Right.
according to the text, according to
Right.
the post, is actually said that's 30% off their current workload.
Right.
And I'm looking at that, but how would this actually impact Vibe, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
with iboomerang coming into the market, these individuals or the drivers of iboomerang's Vibe, right? These are not employees.
No,
These are business owners.
that's right.
These are business owners, and that is the core of what I'm really thinking. Because I even spoke to one Uber driver this morning. He texted me on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, okay, so he said he saw my post. He said, but what's that about? I said, well, this is quick information that maybe Uber wouldn't communicate to you guys yet.
Right.
Uber wouldn't communicate that to you guys yet, but this is information that we do have, and this is what's going on. But a we have a great technology which is coming up to change the whole dynamic of what's going on in the rideshare industry.
Right.
You are not only going to be an employee. You are not looking at yourself as an employee, because an employee actually limits you. It's just like you can't tell somebody to go, leave their job to become an Uber driver. It's like telling them to leave their job to another job.
Right. Exactly.
Because now with Vibrite, we are giving the independence back to the drivers.
Right. That's right.
They become independent drivers on their own. And the good thing, one of the great things that are happening that I really, really appreciate, and I really look at this Vibrite with iboomerang, is that with Uber, the drivers make money only when they carry customer, right?
Right.
But what will it be for an iboomerang? What will it be for a Vibrite driver who is part of iboomerang?
Right.
And he or she, every time he or she carries carries a passenger, he makes money. And even if another Vibrite driver carries that same passenger, he still makes money.
Right. Right.
So it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense for them to ask for the Uber drivers and to actually look deep into this, because
Right.
I spoke to this guy. He was like, "Wow, is this what's gonna be?" I said, "Well, you were so lucky that you're having this information firsthand, and now is the time to make a move."
Right. Exactly. Exactly. It's when you think about it, I'm sure there's a lot of truck drivers and other type of drivers that are independent to whatever group they work with.
Right.
The thing I find here is that as an ambassador like you and I are, or as an Uber driver, or a Vibrite driver, you've got the assurance of this incredible vision from Mr. Holton Bugs.
Absolutely.
That's overarching all of this. And so there's nothing to say that as a Vibe Ride driver, that's what you're doing today. But you may see, wow, I see the larger vision and also become an ambassador and be part of that. It just continues to grow and grow and grow. And the base of it all is that one word called freedom. You have the freedom to be
Absolutely.
you and to become you.
Absolutely. I mean, when you think about freedom, there was a post I posted once. I said there's something that, I mean, we all want,
Right,
freedom. And that's the reason why we go to work. That's the
right,
reason why we do everything we do. Sometimes we go to the gym. What we all want some kind of freedom. We want to
right.
be able to live life better. We want to be
Exactly.
able to change the way things are. We are uncomfortable with the way things are. I want something different, you
Right,
know.
right.
And, and sometimes different opportunities come to us,
Hmm.
different opportunities present themselves to us, and to actually help us make a decision to actually to say, is it this kind of freedom I want, or this kind of freedom I want? Is it something
Right.
that I need, or something that I don't, you know?
Hmm.
But
Right.
now, what difference it makes is actually for somebody who takes upon that freedom, somebody who say, you know what, I really love this, I really see this. This is something that's gonna give me the kind of freedom that I want, and I'm going for it.
Right. Exactly. And that's the person that we're looking for too, to be part of
Absolutely.
what we're doing, is because you've got to see the bigger picture. If you're someone who is content with punching a clock, there's nothing wrong with punching the clock, but no, that's what you're going to be doing
For a long, long
for
time.
a long, long time. We all know what JOB stands for, just over
Right,
broke. And for some
right,
people, not even just over. It should be
right,
just broke. Take the O out.
right.
You know? But with this, you know, it doesn't require any particular skill except the skill of giving.
Absolutely. A friend of one of my friends in our ex-student association, he asked me when I presented this opportunity to him in our conversation, and he
Right.
said, I said, so now this is an opportunity for my friends
Mhm.
to belong to the future. I
Right.
said, because things happen.
Mhm.
I said, if you had an opportunity to invest in Uber when Uber started, would you have done it? He said, absolutely. I said, right now, because look at Uber, look at Tesla,
Right.
Tesla, look
Yeah.
at Amazon. If you had an opportunity, these are giant organizations, but when they started,
Mhm.
only the smart people made the move.
Yes.
Smart people made the move, and today they are stupidly rich. I mean,
Yeah.
because I said so. Then he's like, so how does your friends actually become part of this?
Yeah.
I said it's simple. I said, to me personally, I want to make sure people who become part of my organization, people who become part of my team, whom I'm going to develop or build and help them succeed, these are people who have a passion for something and a passion for giving. Because in as much as we want money and everything,
Hmm.
at the end of the day, our success comes from giving out to other people.
That's
That's what it
exactly right.
is.
That's exactly right.
That's exactly what it is. You
Yeah.
know,
If you build your whole life on looking at how many comments you have before the period on your paycheck or how much wealth you can create, you're looking at life in the wrong direction. You look at becoming who you are destined to become,
right?
and those things are a byproduct. Those things happen because your priorities are then set. And that's what we're seeing here. That's why Mr. Bugs created this opportunity. He saw a need, and that need is now being fulfilled.
Yeah, absolutely. Because well, I mean, I usually follow this. I see this. I say if your hands are closed,
Hmm.
like nothing can come into it. You
Right.
know, you gotta let go what you have in order to gain something else.
That's right.
So it's just the act of giving. Because the more you give, something else gonna come into your hand, and that's just it just rotates. And the success comes when you start focusing on other people. When you start focusing, like right now, we are focusing on the impact that we are changing the lives of those kids, and the impact of changing the lives of other people who want to become financially independent. So
Right.
that's where our success comes from, by helping other people. And the way iboomerang has been presented, Mr. Hortonbox I was asking myself, I said, this guy, is a multiple 6, 7, 8 figure income earner.
Yeah.
What will it cost him to stay home with his family and
Mhm.
spend his money or build his wealth in real estate or whatever? It wouldn't
That's
cost
right.
him anything. But why did he decide
Mhm.
to build an organization called iboomerang?
Mhm.
Why did he decide to say, I want to change the dynamic of something
Mhm.
that, change the industry that's existed for more than 60 years? Like,
Right.
why did he decide to do that? It takes somebody who is very passionate about people. It takes
Right.
somebody who is very passionate about growth and the development of others to actually decide to say, you know what? If there is a change that has to happen, I want to be the change.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, isn't that what Gandhi says? Be the change you want to see in the world.
Absolutely.
Wilson Bugs is being the change he wants to see in the world. He recognized that there is a delivery system out there called network marketing, and that
Right.
system is broken. He's introducing a whole new way to take it to a different level, and that's what's
Absolutely.
happening. That's exactly
Yeah.
what's happening. I love your whole thought about giving, and I think the one person that we all often forget to give to is to ourselves, and that's where giving starts, is by giving to
Right.
yourself.
Right.
Give yourself the opportunity to look at this, to say, this might be the right thing for me. I was talking to a gentleman earlier who is a technology guy, and it reminded me, just talking to him, of our conversation with Therese earlier in the week, and
Right.
what
Right.
she does in the IT world. But he says he's a fam, he's a loving dad, and he's got kids, and here's what he's doing. And I said, with this opportunity, it's more than just about creating financial freedom. You're creating a legacy, so that as you give away these boomerangs over the next several years, people are going to use these and pass them on to their kids to use, and they're going to pass them their kids to use.
Right.
All of that's going to fall to your kids. So you're building a legacy for your kids to have. Do those kids have to become ambassadors? Nope. They're going to reap the benefits of part of what we have here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, they don't have any, they're not going to be ambassadors.
No,
They are, I mean, ambassadors, being an ambassador will be an option for them. That's
exactly.
if they want to be.
Right.
But we're building a legacy system. And I know that, like, like our CEO said, he said, if you go to any organization, to any network marketing organization,
Mhm.
all they're going to tell you is you're building a legacy. You're building a legacy for your family. But that's not true.
It's not true.
Because if you're not there today, your customers gonna stop using your products.
Right.
You know, as soon as the customers stop using your products,
Mhm.
what happens? That chain is cut off.
Exactly. Exactly right.
That chain is cut off. There is no relationship between you and the products anymore. So
No.
I watched the video on YouTube 2 days ago, and there was this lady who said, I use Uber twice, 3 times a month, or 3 times a year.
Mhm.
Does it cost me anything to put it on my phone? No.
No.
How long have I had Uber app on my phone? The last 3 years.
Mhm.
It doesn't cost her anything,
That's right.
you know.
Right.
So, and that's how a boomerang is coming in, because
Right.
it wouldn't cost somebody anything to download the app on your phone,
No.
and the customers will always use it because why? It saves them money.
Exactly.
It's just it
Exactly.
saves them money,
That's right. That's
you
right.
know.
Yep. You're exactly right. And it's just going to keep growing from there. Keep growing from there with it.
Wow, man.
Absolutely.
What this guy was telling me his story yesterday. He said, my family, his family is from New Jersey, and they immigrate. They came over to New York, and they looking. Of course, they said New York is busy, and they really love the
Right.
energy. But at the end of the day, it's very, very competitive. I said, yeah, New York is very competitive. It takes a lot of patience. It takes somebody who is very serious to succeed.
That's right.
And the rent in New Jersey is completely different from the rent in New York. I
Right.
said, but if you think about earning the same income in New Jersey, and you think about earning the same income here in New York, you're gonna starve. I
Hmm.
said, you really got to go out to get something more. And
Right.
if you're looking for a better job, or maybe you're having credit card debt,
Hmm. Right.
now you're definitely increasing your debt. I
Right.
said, but we're building something. We are building an organization that doesn't focus on you, but focuses on making you financially stable. And
Right.
there's something we call get out of debt. That is
Right.
good.
Hmm.
I said that is good, and we're having good parties. We're having good events going on, because the whole point is actually to help people like you and I
Mhm.
get out of debt.
Exactly, exactly. And for someone like yourself who has this passion in the medical industry and with medicine, there's nothing to say you won't keep pursuing that. That's part of your passion. But you've got this
Right.
over here that you're doing right now that you're giving out, and you're going to continue to be rewarded in return for it. I mean, we have attorneys that are successful attorneys that are part of our organization. NFL pro football players, Hall of Fame football players,
Absolutely.
part of our
Absolutely.
association. Actors. I've got some musician friends who are part of this group. It's part of who we are and what we're becoming, and it's just creating that additional freedom that allows you to truly follow your passion.
Absolutely. This when you talk about professionalism and the different passions that we have, I spoke to a gentleman yesterday. It's a friend of mine. We attended one. There was an organization that we're part of, and what he was concerned about, he said time. He said, I don't have time. He said, I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do business. I'm doing work. I'm doing this. I said, listen, there's nothing called time management.
Right.
There's something called personal management.
That's
I
exactly
said,
right.
because there's 24 hours. There's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
You can neither increase it nor decrease it. It's just 24 hours. That's what it is.
That's right.
But how do other people get out high productivity within 24 hours than others?
Hmm.
It just depends on how you manage yourself.
That's right.
I
That's
said,
exactly.
because if you put at a task that if you calculate the task you do every day and you do them by the hour,
Hmm.
look at how many hours is actually dedicated to each task. Or if you're doing a 9 to 5 job, that's an 8 hour job. Your commute is about an hour.
Hmm.
Just do the math and see how many hours of time is left out just for you.
That's right. That's
And
exactly.
if you do that, you're able to see the number of hours that's available and see what you can actually commit yourself to do within that time. I said, I should be the most busiest person in the world, because
Right.
because I'm putting on so many hats.
Uh-huh.
I'm putting on so many hats, but still I still get things done.
Exactly.
I said, I
It's
still get things
about
done. It's just
priority.
about.
What's important to you?
Right,
Yes.
right. I said, it's just prioritization. Prioritize what's important to you, and what you think is not just important to you, but actually how you can, if you're a passionate person about something, how you are changing the lives of other people. I
That's
said,
right.
that's just what it is. You can't.
That's
There's
exactly what it is.
nothing about time management. I say,
No.
you just, if you have to give another reason. You have
Exactly.
to give yourself another reason not to be able to change your life.
Right. We all have the same number of minutes in a year, 525,600 minutes. We all have the same one.
Wow.
And what if you said, okay, I'm going to set aside 10 minutes today just to give out some of boomerangs? That's all. You go to a restaurant, you leave the server a code for an boomerang
I said thank you. I
as
said
a
thank
thank
you.
you. It's a
Thank you for the
gift.
service. Thank you for
Yeah.
the service, and they love it. I said
Yes.
I said this interactive message. It takes me 2 seconds to send you an I decide.
Exactly.
It takes me 2 seconds, and I want to make sure at least 10 people are watching my I decide every day.
Right. Same here.
And this is, these are like things which are very, very common, and these are things which are easy to do. But as soon as somebody puts a difficulty, as soon as somebody put
Mhm.
a permission for
Mhm.
them not to succeed,
Right.
it changes everything for them.
Right.
It changes everything for them.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. One of the
Mhm.
things I listen to this guy, Darren Hardy, most of the time, his motivational speeches and his daily audio. And he said something today. He talked about you, their family, like the friends and family, why they actually hold you.
Mhm.
You know, and that was very, very interesting, because sometimes we want to make a change,
Right.
right? Sometimes we want to make a change in our lives, but we do a lot of considerations. And
Mhm.
one of the considerations that we do, we're looking at our families, our
Right.
friends. What do they say?
Mhm.
And he said two things. He said they are looking at two things. They're looking at the fact that you are doing what they want to do,
Mhm.
and the second thing is that they are scared to do what you're doing,
That's right.
because they don't want to take the risk.
Right.
So what are they going to do? They're going to look for every possibility to pull you down, to bring you back to their circle.
That's right.
And if you look at that circle, we're talking about circle. If you look at that circle to know how it is, You're
Right.
looking at the circle. Is that somewhere that you really want to be for the rest of your life?
Exactly.
Does the circle really make sense for you to sit there for the rest of your life? Is there any possibility for you to make a change?
Yeah.
You know, and that's where I boomerang fits in, because we are not just a business. We are a lifestyle organization.
Right.
You know, see the relationship you and I had, and we've only known each other for about a week or so, and but look at what's going on.
Absolutely.
Look at what's going on, just because of the fact that we are part of an organization that
Right.
builds family lifestyle, you
Mhm.
know, and look at us to be as one family.
Right. I made this comment to you yesterday. I'll make it public today. One of the things that I'm a big subscriber to, this is from Jim Rohn. You are the average of the 5 people you most often associate with. You
Absolutely.
are. You look at the 5 people you most often associate with, you are the average. August 30th, my average skyrocketed because I met you. And we started masterminding and brainstorming together. That would have never happened had we not both been open to possibilities. Had we been
Absolutely.
narrowed in that comfort zone, we would have never gotten out of it. But look at
Absolutely.
that now. Absolutely.
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
know, if you're talking, now you're talking about the average number of people that we associate ourselves with. You know, I'm thinking about, because sometimes we feel comfortable. Sometimes
Right.
we look at our friends and you feel like, I don't want to lose my friend because maybe I don't want him to look at me differently. You know, but at the end of the day, this is your life.
Exactly.
This is your life, and you get to decide
Mhm.
who to live your life with.
Right.
You get to decide who you want to associate yourself with. You will get to decide who do you want to, who do you want to be with all the time.
Right.
And if you keep tolerating nonsense people in your life, I mean,
Mhm.
I'm sorry to say, but there are some people who are nonsense people.
Right.
If you keep tolerating nonsense people in your life,
Mhm.
guess what? You're getting the nonsense result, and before you know it, you're gonna become just like them.
That's right. That's exactly. I mean,
I don't. Yeah, go ahead.
you get sick. You go to the doctor. The doctor says,
Right,
I'm going to give you a shot. And before he gives you the shot, he says, this may hurt a little bit.
right,
Same thing is true in life. In order to get better, in order to improve, sometimes you got to do something that's going to hurt a little bit. But you
exactly,
know it's going to be worth it. You know it's going to
right.
pay off. And that's where you get out of that comfort zone. Just like you're saying, it's exactly what it is.
Exactly. I mean, because there's some friends who were my friends in the past,
Right,
but the way I'm structured now, the way I'm structured today,
right,
we are not as close as we used to be. I
right.
mean, it's not because of anything. It's not because of anything, but just because of a mindset.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have the same mindset anymore, and we wouldn't be having the same conversations anymore because of because of who we are.
Right,
My priorities are now different. I'm thinking about helping people. Maybe they're thinking about helping themselves.
right.
And I'm not thinking about helping myself. I'm thinking about other people. So you see, that's where we see the difference. And if we're having a conversation, we can't really have anything to talk about,
That's
you
exactly right.
know?
That's exactly
So
right.
so for somebody who is watching this, you really got to think about yourself. Really want to think about your life. You really want to think about take an inventory of your life,
Right.
and think about the people that you said, your inner circle. Those inner circle people, those are the people that change your life, because sometimes it's not what you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's who you know.
Who you
You
know,
know.
that's exactly right. And who you're willing to get to know.
Exactly.
And Les Brown talks a lot about that successful people, all of them have a mentor. When you think about people like Michael Jordan or Oprah, Barack Obama, anyone who has been truly successful, they have a mentor coach. Can you name a better mentor coach than Holton Bugs?
Man, when you talk about mentor coach, I'm thinking about, first of all, when I didn't have I didn't have a coach, while growing up,
Right.
and when I first met this guy, and he gave me the analogy of an athlete. He
Mm-hmm.
said, you see, the athlete is in the field, in the court. They're not thinking about what they're doing.
Right.
They're just thinking about getting the results.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something that's going on outside of the court. There
Right.
is a coach. There is a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
There's a mentor who sits out there. He or she sees all the rights and wrongs.
Right.
he or she must have been, they've taken that path.
Right.
They're able to watch you play in the court.
Mm-hmm.
And they're able to direct you, take a left, take a right, take a left, take a right, upper front, back front. So
Yeah.
they're able to do that. So like there's a blind spot. This blind spot, we can't see the blind spot.
That's right.
We need an outside force to help us identify the blind spot.
Right.
And once we're able to find somebody, I mean, we are very privileged, my friend. You and I are very privileged being under the leadership of Mr. Haltenbox. I mean, there's no better leader or mentor
No.
who can lead us within an organizational setting like who he is.
Right. And the people that he's trained under him that you and I have access to, just like Yolanda George jumping on the call yesterday with us.
Oh man, amazing! It's really amazing.
Another one, her and Tim both amazing mentors, coaches, leaders. I messaged her after the call and we were chatting. I said, "Hey, do you know anyone who? Do we have anybody up in Alaska?" I said, "I've got a person in Anchorage that may be interested. Do we have anyone up in Alaska?" And her response to me was, "We do now." And the point was, it doesn't matter whether we have one person or 5,000 people
right
in the community. It's about what you do to create it for yourself. And I loved her response. We do now.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm thinking about when I first immigrated to the United States, I was thinking about who do I know in other states. I don't think I'm ever gonna travel to other states. I'm just gonna stick to New York and do whatever I gotta do. Get old in New York. But now, I've been able to travel, meet friends, meet people, meet this. I mean, I've had right now I would say I have a family in the entire 50 states.
Right.
Because everywhere I go, and I mentioned ibüümerang.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Boom, somebody's out there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
There's this culture.
Mm-hmm.
There's this culture that's been built within us.
Right.
And I'm so proud to be part of this organization.
Right.
Not just because of the fact that it's a business, but also because of the fact that it helps me extend my relationship with people. And like we said before, it's about who you know that you succeed. How many people do you know? That's what actually counts your success.
Exactly right. Exactly. Rudy, it's been 45 minutes. We've been chatting. I love it. I love it. Any final words for people? How they can get involved? How they can contact you or me?
Man, I just want to say for anyone who is watching this right now, first of all, today is 9/11, and take a few moments, if you haven't yet, take a few moments and acknowledge and honor the lives of those who actually were there and those, the first responders who responded to our families and friends and extended relationship. Take some moment to do that, to acknowledge, because if you acknowledge other people are going to acknowledge you. It's just how life is.
Right.
And looking at all the information that we'll be able to share here with my buddy Bart, get back to us, direct message us, put our comments below. If you're watching this on a replay, put a replay, comment us below, and we'll get back to you to help you get started. We can provide you more information about how the business goes and how we are creating and changing the lives of other people all around the world.
Absolutely. Rudy, been a pleasure. We'll do it again tomorrow. Boom.
Thank you so
much.
See you tomorrow,
my friend.
All right, buddy.
Have a good one.
You too, bro.